Greetings. My name is Reverend Dr. Victoria Bomberry. Today we are focusing on intervention. A few weeks ago, the U.S. joined with Israel in a war against Iran. Since then, images of destruction and horror are being broadcast around the world. Unfortunately, when we hear the word intervention, we have become all too accustomed to thinking in militaristic terms. Intervention seems hopelessly tied to violence, disruption, and chaos. And yet, the profound insights of Gandhi in reimagining a just world through nonviolent intervention have changed the dynamic in countless situations as these methods and philosophy are taken up by social justice movements globally. Howard Thurman, who was the mentor and teacher of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., instilled the teachings of Gandhi in Dr. King, who effectively used them to create systemic change in the United States and influence movements worldwide. Likewise, Nelson Mandela turned to nonviolent intervention to dismantle apartheid in South Africa. What is nonviolent intervention? Gandhi called nonviolent intervention satyagraha. He coined this term when he was a young lawyer working with the indentured Indians in South Africa during the colonial period. The people had no rights or ways to remedy the dire situations in which they found themselves. Gandhi explained that satyagraha is truth force, soul force, or love force. His experience in South Africa taught him that the only way to make meaningful, lasting change is to hold on to truth and not admit violence against one's opponent, but uncover the errors that hide the truth through patience and sympathy. Recently in Minnesota, we saw satyagraha in action as everyday people banded together peacefully to assert the truth that we are all the neighbor that the master teacher Jesus called us to love. There is no one outside of this love, and everyone has the right to live peacefully with all others. In Minnesota, people march, make videos of encounters with ICE agents, accompanying immigrants on their court dates, write letters, take food to people who can't leave their homes, advocate for those who are detained. In Los Angeles, Homeboy Industries created vendor days where members of the community made sure that vulnerable vendors had an income by organizing volunteers to sell their goods. These are all examples of nonviolent intervention. It is what uplifts us and calls us to a higher purpose. During the season of nonviolence, you are invited to participate in satyagraha in your own community. Fan the truth force in your heart and the hearts of others. And today's reading comes from Gandhi in Young India, which was written in 1925, page 346. Nonviolence is not a resignation from all real fighting against wickedness. On the contrary, the nonviolence of my conception is more active and more real fighting against wickedness than retaliation, whose very nature is to increase wickedness. I contemplate a mental and therefore a moral opposition to immoralities. I seek entirely to blunt the edge of the tyrant's sword, not by putting up against it a sharper edged weapon, but by disappointing his expectation that I would be offering physical resistance. The resistance of the soul that I should offer instead would elude him. It would at first dazzle him and at last compel recognition from him, which recognition would not humiliate him, but would uplift him. Let's turn together in prayer. I recognize living spirit working in and through me and all beings. I know I am united in spirit with all of creation. I affirm satyagraha that Gandhi taught, knowing that meaningful, lasting change requires nonviolent intervention, patience, and love. I am thankful for these powerful insights and all those who adhere to Satyagraha. I allow this good to be, and now it is.